Hi guys, my name's Emma for those of you guys who are new to this channel. So today we're going to talk about my skating experience and what it was like working at a skating rink. And I've worked at 2 so far.
If you like what you see, come and get it with me.
So I started skating when I was about 4 or 5, and I didn't really get serious until I moved to Texas, and I was about I would say like 9 years old is when I started really wanting to pick up on it and learn it. And so my mom took me into a skating rink that was close by, and the skating rink had a lot to offer. It had clubs, it had lessons, people that really loved the sport, you know, it had a lot to offer. And so I joined the lessons, and from there I could join like the teams that they had, which was artistic skating. It's like kind of like ballerina kind of music, and how ice skating is. Then there's like jam skating, it's breaking down, you know, popping out those moves. And then there's speed skating, which they have indoor and outdoor speed skating, very intense sport, and you're going really fast. And so after I finished my lessons, I decided I wanted to be part of the art skating. So I did this for a few months, wasn't a huge fan. And so there were these guys that worked there, which were the owner's kids, and they were very adorable. And they would like come out with their like speed skates on, and speed skates are very different from rollerblades, guys. They have larger wheels, they don't come up to the ankle as high. Pretty cool. I'll show you guys a picture, of course. Anyway, so they would be going around the rink really fast, and it just was like, I want to be a part of that. Like, and they were cute, so bonus. So I joined the speed skating team, and I was on there for about 1.5 years. And we really couldn't afford it, but there were like 2 options pretty much I could choose from. So one was you paid in full, you know, and I'm talking about thousands of dollars, or you can like work at a skating rink on weekends and stuff. I'm like 10 years old, so I don't even know if this was legal, but it was a good, like, you know, trade. And so I worked there. I was like a floor monitor, and I did the skate counter. Those were like my 2 jobs that I like did all the time. And so, you know, I would be wearing my vest, my cap, and I'd have my whistle. I'd be skating around, I'd help people up. Those are like the kind of jobs that you would do as a floor guard. Sometimes you would do the games, and thank God they did not put me in a costume, because I would not be okay with that. And then I would do the skate counter, which is of course, you're passing out skates, you're fixing skates, you're cleaning the wheels. Like, sometimes you just like, they would order parts of skates and you put them together. It's just all like, I knew what I was doing, you know, so I was taught, and definitely a great experience. I know how to use some tools now, y'all. So anyways, so I worked there while I was also part of the speed team. And while I was on the speed team, there were many events that I would attend. Since I'm in Texas, we went to Houston and Austin to do a lot of competitions and stuff. And this was so long ago, I don't even remember the name of some of the competitions that we went to. But one of my favorite, my first one I ever went to was one that was called Road Rash. It was like in the summer, and we would like sign up for the miles that we're gonna do. I'm not sure if it was a like charity, I don't remember entirely, but there were hundreds of people there from all over, different teams. It was definitely an amazing experience to meet new people. People had like sponsorships like Nike, and like it was thebomb.com. They don't do Road Rash anymore, unfortunately. I think they stopped in 2013. So I'm definitely glad I got to be a part of it. in 2012. So I didn't win anything for that, but it was a great experience. I'm glad I got to be a part of it. You got like shirts and bottles and stuff. It was like the best experience and the nicest people, and they did like grill outs. I will like forever cherish that. And then we went to like intense workout thing in Austin, and to learn, you know, more exercises we can do to strengthen our like core and our like legs and stuff. It was amazing. A lot of work. I definitely don't like working out, and I never liked it, but it was a lot. It was fun, and it was also like great people there. And then I did another competition. This one I got first place in, and I think I had been skating for about a year. So like that was so awesome to me. I think I have a picture I can show you guys. I was trying to find my medals, but they're all in this box like tucked away, so I only have like a few pictures and stuff. But definitely like the time of my life. Like we went to go do so much fun things. For my birthday, we skated to like the zoo. For someone else's birthday, we went to Dick's, I think it's called, and like the people are like rude to you and stuff. Yeah. So there was never like a dull moment, and like I'm so glad I had that like a part of my like childhood. And so anyways, so after a while, when summer was coming up, I was asked to be part of the jam skating, and I don't like falling in front of people, so for me this was like I don't know if I want to do that or not. So I ended up still doing it because I'm a go-getter in life. I'm gonna do it, you know, I'm gonna try new things. So I joined the jam team, and then we had like our first like competition. So you would travel to different skating rinks like every weekend, and you would like compete against other people in your age category. So first competition I went to, I believe it was like 2 hours away. It was far. And I had two other girls like in my age category, and they were breaking down, like doing all these moves and stuff. I'm like, I can't do that. I can't do it, but I'm happy to be a part of it. And so like my establishment, they still got points for like all the people that did even participate, even if we didn't do like crazy stunts and stuff. So that was really fun. I went to a lot of those kind of competitions, and after a while I stopped competing because I was like, this isn't for me. But yeah, so those were like my first great like experiences. There were some bad ones, of course. Actually, my first day of speed skating, this guy on my team, much older than me, he slammed into the wall and broke his collarbone. And that was like really like, you know, whoa, this happens in the sport type of thing. And so the ambulance was called, and it was really scary to me. Like, but everyone acted like chill. It was so weird. They're like, this always happens. He shouldn't have been goofing around. And I'm like, this poor kid, you know? But he was definitely like, the same guy actually that did that. After a while I started getting better and stuff. And, like when I would say like a few months down the road, I was like getting close to beating these boys. Like I was the only girl on this team that like showed up, you know, like there were girls that would come sometimes like once a month, if that. Sometimes the coach's daughter would show up. When I first started at the team, she showed up to, you know, show me the ropes and stuff. But I was definitely the only girl on the team, and these guys did not want to lose against me. And there was about 5 boys, then there was also me. And so you do these races indoor, and you're like going in the circle. So we set up cones, go in the circle, whoever makes it to the finish line, you know, is a winner. So the one time that I was actually in front of them, all of them, the guy grabbed me on like my waist and pushed me to the ground. It was like an angle kind of push. Anyways, I scraped my like knee and stuff, and I have a lot of scars from skating. Editing Emma, what can I say? So I just looked, and like that bruises or scar, you can't really see it, but I have a bunch of other scars from skates that I want to show you guys. So they're all on my ankles. Yeah. Pretty visible still. Some are pretty much faded away, but for a long time I would not wear like heels and stuff. I would not wear, this always shows up whenever I do skate. But I wouldn't wear any like shoes that would show my legs because of the scars I would get from my skates. So I don't know if y'all can see that one, but yeah. These scars are literally, how old are they? 9 years old, and they're pretty faded, but they're still there. And as a kid, I would definitely not want anyone to see my ankles or my feet or my legs. So, but that one's pretty much like healed up for the most part, and I'm glad it has, because I always wanted to wear pants. I never wanted to show my legs because of the scars that I had from skating. And so like, yeah, I just kind of felt like at times, because I was the only girl on the team, they did feel intimidated when I would win. And after that, I would say a few weeks later, I started really beating them and, you know, got some respect. And I'll say like a few months later, the coach, he was like, he had told me it was an accident to begin with. I knew it wasn't. I know what it feels like. It's weird, we grab onto each other's waist, but I know what it feels like because I had, you know, done road rash. That's very common to like skate with your team and stuff. There was just not that kind of force that was used. So I knew it was on purpose. And so his mom of the kid apologized to me, my mom, months later. The coach said he knew it wasn't an accident this whole time. So yeah, there was always a few things that were not like, I wish, you know, I had a better experience. But I mean, I was the youngest person on the team, so, you know, I was not treated very well. I also wasn't mature. They were more mature than me, and, you know, like kids, they're not always treated nicely, you know, like people are always picking on them, and that was kind of me. And since I worked there too, they weren't very nice to me all the time. So yeah, like there were times I did feel left out, but it was still a great experience, and I would definitely like be a part of it again. Fast forward a little bit, I started working at Sonic, and I started skating at Sonic a little bit. That was definitely something like, definitely a bonus on your like resume is if you know how to skate. And sometimes they pay you more, but I have a Sonic video if you guys want to go check that out, and what it was like working at Sonic and skating there as well. So I skated there, and then I had a job my freshman year of college, yeah, 2020. You know, during the pandemic and stuff, it was important that I worked, I felt like. So weird thing is, I just like went to skating rink one day because I hadn't been in like I hadn't skated in about a year at that time, and I was like, I need a job. So I pop up to skating rink, like maybe closest one to me, I don't even remember, but I go to skating rink, and it was interesting. So I skate around a little bit, you know, and I noticed, like, I get there, like, you know, when it first opens, and then there's all these people coming inside, you know, and like Corona is a big deal, but like I had my face mask on, I was being respectful, of course, and it was like all these people were like packed in this like, you know, tiny space, of course, and they kind of need help. So I go and I talk to the person at the front desk. He was like a manager, but not like the boss. So I told him, like, you know, I've worked at skating rink before. I know how to fix skates. I know how to skate. I have so much experience. and I would like to be part of this establishment. And so like he was like, I'll let my boss know, he should be here soon. And I go back and I start skating, and I noticed this guy's watching me, and he was kind of cute though, I'm not gonna lie. But he started watching me skate and stuff. And so then I saw him like nudge his boss, you know, like, hey, like, look at this girl, you know, like I see them pointing, so I know they're talking about me now. And so next thing you know, like, Emma to the front counter, Emma to the front counter. And I'm like, all right, here's my chance. So I go up to the front counter, and lo and behold, you're hired. And so I got the job, of course. That was really cool. And I literally started like not even a week later. And I'm just gonna say this was not my favorite place to work at. I do not have like good things to say about this place entirely. But I will say that when I started like working at the snack bar, which I didn't have too much experience at, I will say my first like real job was at a concession stand for a softball team. So I did know how to like sell food, how to get my like food handler's license and stuff. So yeah, that's always fun to do. So and when you're like a newbie, people are like not very kind to you. I also knew how to skate better than all the people that worked at the skating rink, so they were not very like kind to me. And they definitely like, I just didn't feel like they were hard workers. And one of these girls were getting paid like $11 an hour, and she didn't do anything. Yeah, it was just like really not my favorite experience. And she would have me like do all the food and like restock and stuff. Like I just felt like she was like throwing me under the bus a lot. So anyway, so I got out from back of the skate, I got out from the back of the concession area, and I went into the skate counter, and I took a really hard look. Like I had seen like the skates and stuff, and I started taking a harder look at like the skates in general, because I like to fix things, and that's kind of my thing. So, and I've also owned about 5 pairs of skates. I've had jam skates, regular skates, artistic skatings, and 2 types of speed skates. I've never worn rollerblades in my life. But yeah, I still know how to fix all these things. So I look at the skates, and they're like messy, like not put in the right spots, and just, you know, it wasn't like, I was disappointed. I was disappointed at the people back there that were working before I was there, and disappointed at the owner. So I started pulling out skates and stuff when it was getting slow one day, and I'm talking to the girl that was working with me, and she was telling me that the owner does not want to spend money on new skates, and every time she's brought it up, he shuts the conversation down. He doesn't want to talk about it. Like, yeah. And then like there was a back room, and there were like skates piled on top of skates. It was like if y'all know what a skating rink smells like it's times like 20, you know, the smell of the unclean skates, and like not, I don't know, it was not my favorite. So like kind of the routine that you do is when you get skates back, you spray the inside of them, and then you tuck the laces in. Well, this man did not want to spend money on Lysol. It was also hard to get at the time, I will say, but the girl I was working with was like, oh, he does not want to spend money on Lysol. Like, no. She was like, he tells us to use water and soap. And so like, I'm not okay with that. Like Lysol, you know what I mean? So, yeah. So this happened. And one day I was fixing the skates, right? Going back to that. And the wheels were not moving on some of the skates, and I'm like, this is kind of dangerous. And I would be, you know, like trying to like crank the thing. I don't know the name of the tools. I just know how to use them. So I went up to him. Well, first I was like, where can I find WD-40? Where can I find rubbing alcohol? Where can I get towels? Da, da, da. Like, I'm asking this girl stuff. She's like, he has it all up front. And I'm like, this is part of my job description, okay? Like, I need to fix skates, you know what I mean? And like, clearly they don't care about it. So I go up and ask him for WD-40. And for those of you guys who don't know what that does or is, so usually you'll take your wheels out of the like axle part, and you will spray it so the wheels roll a lot better. And they were not rolling, most of the like wheels and stuff. I asked him for that. He puts WD-40 on a like towel. And I'm like, this is weird. Okay. I still go back and I use it, and I continue to use it for about 10 pairs of skates. And then I realize I need more. Go up and ask him. He's like, we don't be wasteful up in here. But since I trust you, I'll let you use a little bit more. What are you talking about? And so then I'm like gonna clean the wheels too. So I have to go back up there and ask him for rubbing alcohol. To me, this is weird. And so I was talking to the girl, she's like, I don't even know why you're bothering. He doesn't care about these skates, and I don't feel like we should either. So like, that was the attitude that she was like having. Everyone was having it with me. Like, don't even worry about the skates. You're worrying too much, you know? So also, if you don't know what rubbing alcohol does, it cleans the wheels, okay? So to me, these are very important things. You don't want people like not being able to roll or falling because they have gum on their shoe. Like, you don't want none of that. So, so I go up and I talk to him, you know, like, let me use those stuff, you know, we could use more of this. And he wasn't really listening, you know, and I just felt like, So while I was there, I was there for 4.5 months. There were 4 accidents. At my first establishment that I worked at as a child, there was the accident with the guy, of course, that hit the wall. But that was not like during like regular skate hours, but during skate hours, there were literally one very serious accident where we called the ambulance. And I was there Saturday, Sunday, Friday, Wednesday. I was always there. I loved skating. And there was never those kind of accidents. Yes, sometimes they would turn on the lights, make sure someone's okay. But this place did not care. And you would always like hear other like my coworkers talking about other accidents that were happening. I'm like, they really just don't care about their skates, the people, none of that. And she had told me that for every like fall or like brokenness that has happened, he keeps the skate in like a room, and it puts a note in it and says like the accident that happened. And so, you know, for me, like, I can't work for someone that does not value people and does not care about the safety of others. So, and I remember this last accident very well. I don't know, it just still has like stuck with me. So this man, okay, so it was a group of people, I would say about 15 people, rented out the skating rink. I was there for a private party. They were like dressed up and stuff, and they all had come to get skates. Maybe one person had their own pair, but for the most part, everyone came to get skates. And so we passed their skates out, and the party's almost over, and this man falls, and like, and I don't know if he tripped. I'm not entirely sure, but he comes off of the rink, and I see this, I'm like, you know, watching like, and I didn't think much of it. So he hits somebody, but he was saying he couldn't stop, you know. He hit somebody, breaks his leg, his bone is sticking out through his leg, and like, this was right next to the skate counter, pretty much. Like, he had to have been like maybe 10 feet away. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, like gathering around him. It was so scary. It was, I don't know. So the ambulance is called. He is taken out on a stretcher, and all you can hear is him screaming, like every time they're like moving him. And to me that was like a big, like, you know, this is not right. Like, there's clearly something wrong with these skates. This man does not seem to value other people's lives. And he's just a cheapskate, you know, like, it was a no for me. Editing Emma here again. Okay, so I wanted just to add this part in about the skates. So he had ordered plastic skates, and personally I think the only time you should ever have plastic skates is like for your children or for kids, but for grown adults, no, they need regular skates. I get they were cheaper, I understand that, but they were the ones that would break the most. They were the ones in the back of the skate room thrown into piles because they were broken. So yeah. So one day, like, we were going on break, like winter break, right? And I told him, my boss, a few weeks in advance, you know, I'm going on break, I'll be gone for 3 weeks, but I'll come back, of course, if you need me. But this was kind of me hinting out, I'm leaving, you know? So he was like, okay, well, he asked me again, are you coming back? Are you coming back? And whatever. So I feel like I should have told him that because he lowered my hours and all of this stuff. Like, I just was like, do not feel appreciated by this man. I will tell you, he did pay me more than most of the other employees because I had experience. So anyways, so I eventually go on break and I never go back to that establishment, point, period, blank. So yeah, it was a huge difference from the other place I worked at, where I definitely saw, like, you know, they valued the people that came in, like, and this establishment also had no clubs, no lessons, nothing, you know? So he just was open to be open, you know? And it wasn't like, and I knew, like, here's the thing, I knew he wasn't broke because his wife, you know, she would come in, and I'm not gonna say too much about this, but she was like on medicine that she knew, you know, she would be taking pills and stuff, and she would be falling over, and like, she would say, I'm not drunk, I promise. It was, anyways, she would talk about her 3 yachts that she owns. Like, they're not broke. So I knew they could go and invest a little bit more into skates. But anyways, if I'm ever a skating rink owner, I know the kind of path I would take. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, I don't really know how to end this video, but I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you have any comments, leave them down below for me, and I would love to get back to you guys. Anyways, thank you for watching. Bye.